Hello, thank you for joining our presentation on the Portfolio Risk Analysis. This is Craig Smith with NACM Connect, and I'm the Credit Solutions Manager here. And I'd like to show you this presentation because it is an exciting new tool that can help our members be able to really get a better understanding of how their portfolio is performing and where their challenges are. So just to let you know, we started developing this particular program back a couple of years ago, and this is basically because members were asking for a tool that they can utilize the NACM scoring method to be able to identify the risk in their portfolio. So what we've done is back in 2013 was the development started, and in 2014 we were testing the program and then eventually rolled it out to our members in April of 2015. Since then we've added different functionality improvements, and we hope you really like this program. Some of the basic benefits of the program is, first of all, to identify those high-risk accounts. We want to be able to make sure that you have a tool that you can zero in on those challenges and be able to take corrective action. And also for your collection efforts, so that you can make sure you can concentrate your resources to the areas that are most relevant and those areas that where the risk is established in your portfolio. We feel it's really important to be able to provide this benchmarking that can be ascertained out of the program. For example, you could show how your portfolio is comparing to your credit group or to other industries within your the area that you do business. Also, executive reports. Some of our members are providing this information to their upper management so that they can see how they are performing compared to their peers. And also what we do is we are able to provide Excel lists out of the presentation and out of the program, so that you can have that, use that information in an effective manner. One of the key things to keep in mind is the portfolio risk analysis is based on a scoring method that NACM uses. This is a different scoring model than some of the other credit bureaus are using, like Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. This particular scoring method is based on their company's payment habits, as opposed to including other factors such as how many years they've been in business or their financials and so forth. This is just a score that zeroes in on how is the company going to be paying, or predicting how the company will be paying their bills. So let's go into the program. And what we have is we have a demonstration. Here we show a demo company, but basically your company information would be represented in this particular screen. One of the key things to note is this is a program that we've designed and have available to our members at no cost. There is two conditions, though. You must be an NACM Connect member, and also you must provide your trade data to NACM on an electronic basis on a monthly basis. And if you are doing those two things, this is a great program for you to utilize and have it part of your credit process. Okay, first of all, looking at the screen, what we have is this would be your information on and how your accounts are scored. You can see the different classes here. If you look at the National Trade Credit Report, it will show, the classes will be listed in the report. These numbers then correspond to the class on the report. So what it does is, first of all, it takes each one of the different classes. Here we have, for example, very low risk, and we show how many dollars exposure you have in your portfolio in that particular class. And here in this example, it's over $4 million. That $4 million represents 38.5% of your total portfolio of over $10 million. And then what it shows is how many accounts are actually in that particular credit risk class. And we have 233, which represents 24% of your total number of accounts in your portfolio. Now, after we've identified each of these different classes and segmented your customer base based on that, you can see where some of the higher risk situations arise. Like, for example, in extreme risk, there's quite a low number of dollars and accounts that are in that category, that's always great to see. Very high risk, there's $63,000 that represents 14 different accounts. And then when we get into these other classes, that's where here, based on the definition of the score, these accounts are actually in the situation that they're over 25% of their total balances, 90 or more days beyond terms. So those are higher risk type situations. And then number of bankruptcies. We do also have a classification if we feel we cannot score the account effectively, then they would fall into this range. And we need a certain number of trade experiences to be able to provide the scoring on the account. Now, taking a look at the graph here, what we have is on this side of the page, we show dollar exposure amounts. And on the other side of the page, on the right-hand side, it shows the number of accounts that fall into the different credit risk categories. So here we can take a look at, for example, this is information based on what's at the top of the chart here. You can see here it shows 38% of the dollars are in very, very low risk, and that corresponds to this graph, the green area here of that 38%. So you can see the representation of each of your accounts and how they fall into the different risk buckets. And then the same thing is for the number of accounts that fall into these different risk categories. Now, for the benchmarking, what you can do is you can take a look at the risk dollar amounts that you have in each of these categories. Like, for example, here is, if we look at the table, that's the high risk category, the 4A, and there's just about 15% that fall into that category. Now, in the group, this is a Windows manufacturer credit group. It shows that there are 7.2% of the dollars in that group, from the group, that fall into that risk category. And then you can see also for the higher risk scores over here how that all plays out. And then if we take it a little bit further, we can take a look at another industry that this particular company is in, and they're in the window manufacturers group, and shows how they compare with this industry by comparing these numbers at the top here with the industry figures. And then again, more benchmarking, you can take a look at our entire database and how the scoring compares with our entire database. Now, to identify which accounts are of higher risk nature, you could, for example, click on here is high risk. You can see that line turns yellow when you put your cursor on it. You click on it, and what it'll do is it'll come back with the same table that you had on the front page, but it'll show then all the different accounts that fall into that particular risk class of the 4A, which is higher risk. Now, taking a look at these dollars, what we do is we just say subject company. Here it would list out the specific name of the business that's in this classification, and we rank them based on the dollar exposure that's found in your database. And then here what we have, really a nice tool, nice added benefit is trade lines. We'll show you how many trade lines we have on the particular report, so you can see the value of the information, and you can see how many other members are contributing data. So you can, like in this example, there's 98 different trade lines, so you have quite a robust report here. If you wanted to take a look and see what that report is, just click on it, and the report, the National Trade Credit Report, is then available. Now, this is just a sample, so we don't have any numbers here in this particular example, but it just gives you an idea of that, how quickly and easily you can then go from the portfolio risk analysis right over to taking a look at the raw data on the credit report. Okay. And let's see. Getting back to the table here, you can also put your cursor right on the different states and see how many accounts that fall into this risk category that are located in these different states. So you can see by geographics where your risk is located. And here it goes from blue to red. That means there's more risk in, like, for example, in Tennessee in this particular example. Okay. Now if we go back, here I'd like to also show that here if you want to take a look at some of these, here there's 10 accounts that are in this high risk category, and you can take a look at those, who they are, the payment experiences that we have in our credit report, and the dollar exposure you have in each of these different categories. Now you may want to utilize this a little bit further and maybe generate an Excel spreadsheet that will show you know, who the accounts are, and add information by just clicking on this like little Excel export icon and then opening. The program will generate an Excel spreadsheet so that you can take a look at that and add notes or whatever, however you want to use the information. As you can see, it's a very easy, user-friendly type program. You can, again, zero in on your high-risk situations. You can take a look at it geographically. You can do the benchmarking of comparisons with your company, with your credit groups, and then also be able to then zero in on more information by clicking on the company and getting the National Trade Credit Report. So with that said, I'd like to just thank you for joining us. That's a quick synopsis of the program, and you know, if you have any questions on it, please contact your Credit Solutions representative at NACM. Thank you.